Hello, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. In today's video, we are going to set up my December budget. Oh my gosh, it's the last budget of the year, you guys. I'm so excited to hop into my new drill down budget planner. Speaking of which, thank you to everyone that shopped with me and placed an order over this weekend. It has been so exciting to see something that I created and that I've been planning for so long, because you guys know, if you've been following me, I started to put together this planner in 2021, but even before that, when I started to try to figure out how I like to budget and the things that would help me to keep budgeting fun and interesting, but yet keep me meeting my financial goals. So it's been such a blessing to be able to launch a product that I made, and I just want to take a moment to thank everyone that has shopped with me over the weekend. If you're still sitting on the fence, there are still some planners available. The shop is open if you missed my announcement, and free shipping is still going on until 11:59 on Monday, and that's Pacific Standard Time. So feel free to go on over to the website and get you a copy of the Drill Down Budget Light or Max version. I will be adding to the shop as time goes on, but this is my initial launch. So yeah, I just want to take a moment and say thank you. I am so grateful for everyone that placed an order or that even considered placing an order. Alrighty, so let's jump into my budget for December. So I already set up my monthly calendar, so we are 1 month ahead for anybody that's new, but I still like to budget in a paycheck to paycheck kind of style. So everything from the 1st through the 15th is going to be considered as paycheck number 1, or like our first half of the month bills, and then everything from the 16th to the last day of the month is considered paycheck number 2, or our last half of the month's bills. So you can't really see it, but there are some dots right here. They're a very light pale blue to go with the pale blue that's in the washi tape, and those are our first half of the month bills, and then everything in blue is our second half of the month bills, and then everything is pink is going to be my business related bills. And come January, I will be taking out the business stuff from here, because I'm using one of the sample planners that I got as my side hustle business budget planner, so you won't see any more business expenses in my actual personal, like, family budget. So just wanted to make that announcement here. Oh, and I think I forgot to mention that I am using the light drill down version. There is a max version where on these pages it lets you break down your monthly budget by category, but I prefer the light version because I don't need so much structure, but I do need a little bit of structure, which the light planner is good for. Alrighty, so I already wrote in my numbers, but I do want to go through them with you guys because we do have some changes for December going forward. So our monthly take-home pay is going to be $5,931.47. Of that, $161 will be put towards my business expenses, leaving us with $5,770.47 in order to fund our lifestyle. So our mortgage is $1,917.82. Childcare is a major change this month because I think I told you guys last month that the twins moved up to the 2-year-old classroom. So that changed our weekly tuition from $14.25 to $30 and some change, like 33 cents or so. But now this time the daycare is raising their rates overall. So now our weekly amount is $70.13, which I'm still not going to complain about because it is for 3 children that are 4 and under. So $350.65 a month is still pennies compared to the $3,000 plus that it would be if we weren't getting our childcare subsidized. So I am not going to complain about that, but it does change our budget a lot because we didn't have a lot of leftover money to begin with, so that took about half of our leftover money. But moving on, life insurance for hubby is $69.96. Life insurance for me is $57.64. Vivint is our home security, which is $57.14. Farmers is $308.16, and I think Our car insurance is set to renew in December, so I do need to keep an eye out for if they raised the rates or not. Hopefully they didn't, but I don't think they changed it last year, so I'm kind of thinking that they're going to change it this year, but we'll see. Hopefully not, though. Frontier is our home internet, and that's $69.99. Verizon is our cell phones, is $200. I still need to look into that company discount, so mental note there. And then pest control is $36.34, and I do think it is coming up in December. It felt like they were just here. But either way, pest control, and then Netflix is $19.99. Car loan is $256.29. Water and trash is $135. We did get our October bill in the mail, because if you've been following me, then you know that I was saying that during my October closeout, I didn't see our October water bill, and I found out later that the water company was switching over their system, so they were late in generating the October bills. But I did get the paper one in the mail, and it did say it was $152 and some change. So this is already going to be, oh wait, that's due in November, so never mind, no relevance to December's budget. So $135 for water and trash, $50 for electric. Natural gas is $125. I did bump this up just because I am expecting the gas to be higher for the winter rates and everything now that it's getting cold, but I'm hoping that it's not going to be the $200, $300 that it was in the past, because our gas is paid in arrears, so we won't get our December bill until January, and so on and so forth. So this will probably be our last month where we see like a lower rate before I actually see how much the gas is going to be based on the winter rates and our winter usage. So fingers crossed that it's nothing crazy. And then ID theft is $12.10. Amazon Kids Plus is the little program for our kids' tablets. That is $4.99. Groceries is $500. Costco, I did get rid of I didn't get rid of it, but I did roll the caffeine budget into Costco, because I did discover Costco sells their own brand of cold brew in a can, and I've been trying it out for these last couple of weeks, and it actually does the job. I'm able to keep one of the cans in my drawer at work, so whenever I need a pick me up, because there is a Keurig at work, but they don't have like the Starbucks K-Cups and everything like that, and I like cold coffee, so it actually works for me to have like a cold brew in my drawer for whenever I want, and that has actually kept me from going to Starbucks. So our cutting down on Starbucks is working, but not cutting down on overall caffeine. But I mean, I gotta keep my job, and I need coffee for my job. So otherwise I will be asleep at my desk. I'll be tired. But so yeah, we rolled $100 from caffeine into Costco, which I think will work out well. So Costco now gets $600, and then gas for our cars is going to be increased to $600, because I told you guys that was one of the things that I needed to do based on our October budget closeout. So we're gonna make that change in December. All right, so with all of that, really quick. So I just noticed that December is a 5-week month, which also means that it's a magic month for me. If your new hubby is in school and he's not working right now, so it's just a magic month for me. So I get 3 paychecks in December, which will probably just set aside into our savings. But for childcare, this $350 is based on 5 weeks. I completely did not see that. So normally it would be 80 and some change for a regular 4-week month, which isn't bad, because that will give us an additional $70. So not as bad as I was thinking originally, but it still makes a difference in our budget. So after all of these expenses, which is our 4 walls, these things have to get paid in order to keep us going and maintaining our standard of living. We have $560.40 left, and for that we are still, if anybody noticed that I didn't have Bora Bora over here, it's moved over here, because with our budget being tighter, I do want to concentrate on making sure that we get all of our bills paid and making sure that we have enough food to eat and get to work. So Bora Bora, while it is our first savings priority, it doesn't come before our 4 walls. So I moved it over here to give me a better sense of how much money is left over after our 4 walls. So Bora Bora still gets $250. Business is going to get $161, but again, this will go away come the new year because I'll be taking that fully out of my business account. And then car registration, we are setting aside $38.50 a month for my car registration so that once it's due in June or July, we can go ahead and pay the full bill instead of a couple $100s coming out of our budget for that specific month. So it just makes it a little bit easier. Daycare material fee is $50, and this is, I believe, the last month that I will be setting this aside at this amount, but I will continue to set it aside just in a smaller amount. So daycare material fee, which is the material fee for our daycare for all 3 of our children, it's $100 per child. So $300 for the material fee is due in January. So that is the last bit of that. And then after these priority sinking funds and cash envelopes are set aside, we do have $60.90 left from our budget. And I do have a hair appointment that's coming up, and I am probably going to get some crochet faux locks. I think they're called goddess locks. I'm so bad with the names for braids nowadays. It's just too many, but I think it's the goddess locks, where it has the faux locks plus the piece of like, you know, wavy braiding hair sticking out. Yeah, so I'm gonna get that for Christmas, and I think it'll be cute. So anyways, I'm gonna put that towards beauty services for my appointment in December. Okay, so if I add all of that up, our income total is $5,931.47, and our expenses is $5,931.47, which means that I gave every dollar a name. And I do want to clear up, if anybody is new, that I do a zero-based budget, but zero-based budgeting does not mean that every single dollar is going out the door. It just means that you assigned every dollar a name, a job. That's all that means. That doesn't mean that at the end of the month I will have $0 in my account, because clearly I'm setting aside $250 for Bora Bora. So for anybody that was confused, that's what a zero-based budget is. So after this, what I'm going to do is, based on this calendar, I'm going to split up these expenses into column 1 or column 2 so that it'll help me to kind of estimate and keep track of these expenses throughout the month, because I do expense tracking on these pages on my transaction log. The Max Budget Planner does have actual expense trackers, which are for paycheck to paycheck budgeting, but for the transaction log, you can use it as a paycheck to paycheck budgeting because you get 2 sheets, but you can't use them as a running log of your transactions, because I do put a total at the bottom of each page for you. So that is how I'm going to use them. So I'm going to separate these expenses based on the first half of the month or the second half of the month, put them in these 2 columns, and then I'm just going to track my expenses for the month. But for my next budget video, it's going to be me closing out November, because I am setting this up early in advance so that I know what to do with our December money once it starts to come in. So let me go ahead and write down everything from the calendar into these 2 columns. All right, so here is everything broken down into the columns. So in column number 1, which is the first half of the month for us, we're going to need a total of $4,709.49 to fund everything that needs to come out in the first half of the month. And then for the second half of the month, we need $1,151.85. And then we need $70.13 for the last week of the month for daycare, but what we'll probably do is lump these 2 together. So all I have to do is set aside the money one time. So what happens next is I just go on to the next page and I start tracking expenses according to this budget. So as long as I don't deviate from this budget, I won't go over budget. And if I do go over budget, then at least I'll know in advance that I'm going to go over budget, and I can make a conscious decision to go over budget. So knowing your numbers does help you not to go over budget, and that is what I have found works for me. And knowing the numbers and how much you have to spend and play with before you go over budget has been the biggest difference in budgeting and staying on budget. So at least when I know I'm about to go over budget, I can just come up with a game plan to cover the money that I'm about to use that I didn't budget for. So I hope that made sense. I'm going to go ahead and set up my digital cash envelopes for this budget of December so that once December 1st hits, we are good to go. All of our cash envelopes are stuffed and sinking funds are ready to go. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't forget again that the drill down budget planners are available on my website now. The link is down in the description, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.